Okay, so I guess everyone in here kind of knows the situation I'm in. I was hit October 30th and broke my C2 vertebrae in 3 places, and kind of a statistic for that is 98% of the people that break their C2 in a high impact, whether it's a car accident or a sports injury or whatever it is, 98% of the people die instantly. Of those 2% of the people that don't die, it's about 98 to 99 are quadriplegics, and that 1% that goes past being a quadriplegic is usually put on a ventilator and has kind of a 2-year lifespan. So when I stand here right now, it's kind of it's tough to grasp even for me. I'm going to just kind of tell you a little bit about how everything went, and how whether you want to call it luck or faith or whatever it is, it was on my side. So once I was hit, I was laying on the ice in a pretty weird position, kind of a position that you never see yourself in normally. So I kind of thought I just broke my arm, and then when I went to get up, I couldn't move anything, and got pretty nervous. It was about 20 seconds until the trainer, Aaron, came, and those 20 seconds, that felt like 2 hours to me. Being alone and not being able to move, and thinking to yourself that you've broken your neck or your back is probably the scariest feeling I'll ever feel. And I really hope no one ever has to go through that. But once Aaron got there, I had a pretty good relationship with Aaron, so he was pretty straightforward and said, that kind of put it right out there for me that I either broke my back or I broke my neck. And from there, he just said, just stay calm and stay patient, and I was. And the ambulance came, and I was put on the stretcher, and as I was put on the stretcher, there was the loudest crack I've ever heard. And so now I'm thinking, well, if I wasn't paralyzed, well, I'm for sure paralyzed now. So, and the EMT who was holding my neck, I just said, did you hear that? And he was like, uh-huh. And he turned completely white, and I was thinking, oh my God, this guy's going to faint on me. And I just pretty much told him, stay with me. So it went from kind of me being scared to now me being really scared about, 2 of us laying in an ambulance on the stretcher. So once we kind of got in the ambulance, there's a bunch of people around, and all of a sudden the North Dakota doctor comes in and says, I think you broke your collarbone. And I looked around and I said, who invited this guy? I can't feel anything. I'm pretty sure I didn't break my collarbone. He goes, no, I think you did. And then I said, well, how likely is it to re-break your collarbone? He goes, oh, that never happens. I said, well, I broke that collarbone when I was 14. He goes, oh. And so then that was the last we saw of him. But then I was taken to the North Dakota hospital, and there, it was kind of a little bit more serious, and you could hear the doctors kind of whispering a little bit back and forth. And once they got the equipment off, which was a complete struggle, and you would think from being from North Dakota they would have no problem understanding hockey equipment, but they didn't. So from there, I had the MRI, and the doctor just looked at me, and he was pretty scared, and he said, we need to get you to Minneapolis because this is something that is above and beyond what we can handle. And so I was stabilized in a neck brace kind of thing and on a hard board. Then I was flown to Hennepin County in Minneapolis, and there they did a bunch of MRIs and a bunch of tests, and discovered that there was in fact 3 fractures in the C2, and they were in complete shock that I was even, alive. And kind of on that way, that trip, my, right before I left, my feet and fingers, they started to twitch, and they told me not to get too excited because that is common when someone is still quadriplegic. Their nerve endings still twitch at the end. So I was kind of excited that they were doing that, and at the same time, staying grounded and understanding that it doesn't mean that I'm healed. So once I got to Hennepin County, they wanted to fuse my neck immediately. And for those of you that don't know, I had no idea about this, but fusing your neck kind of means that they just attach all your vertebrae together where the injury is, and it would be like I would be wearing a neck brace for the rest of my life without wearing a neck brace type deal. I'd be the guy that has to do a full turn and everything like that. So hockey would have definitely been out of the question, and driving, things like that would have been a complete life-altering decision. And they told my parents that that was the only safe way for me to survive, and my parents were really scared and quite nervous about the whole thing, and were on board with it until last minute. My dad kind of thought to himself, why on earth have I not got a second opinion? I mean, when you get your driveway poured and you get, you renovate your house, you get a second opinion. And this time it's my son's wife, and I'm just going to go with it. So he kind of clued in, I guess you could say, and he sent the film to Atlanta. They were a team that I was drafted by, and they were fantastic throughout the whole thing. They immediately said, we want to help, and so